Hey everyone, welcome back to Earnings Digest. Your one-stop shop for keeping a pulse on what's up in the economy and the stock market.
For sure.
Well, today we're doing one of our deep dives
Okay.
into this concept of a new BRICS currency.
Uh-huh.
It's a fascinating topic, and to be totally upfront with you, we did an overview video on BRICS on the channel a little while back.
Right.
So if you're not totally up to speed on what BRICS is and who the players are, maybe take a pause here, go check out that video and come back.
Definitely.
But if you are, then buckle up because we're going to go deep on this new currency idea and what it might mean for, well, pretty much everything.
Yeah, for the whole world, really.
Okay, so set the stage for us here.
Okay.
We've got this, the system right now where the U.S. dollar is king.
Mm-hmm.
It's the big cheese, the top dog. Everyone uses it. Everyone trades in it. Central banks load up on it.
Exactly. The
Yeah.
world basically runs on the U.S. dollar.
Right, exactly.
Mm.
So what happens when, someone tries to rock the boat?
It's a good question, and it's not like it hasn't been tried before, you know?
True.
But this BRICS thing, this has the potential to be different.
Okay, so spell that out for us.
Well, think about it this way. The dollar's power comes from a few things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, central banks hold tons of it. It's the go-to for global trade.
Yep.
And there's this, network effect. The more people use it, the more useful it becomes.
Right. It's like the more people are on Facebook, the more you kind of have to be on Facebook.
Exactly. So
Uh-huh.
a BRICS currency, if it gets going, it could start to chip away at all of that.
Okay, so give me a real world example here.
Okay, so let's say Brazil decides they're going to start selling their oil in this new BRICS currency
Instead of dollars.
instead of dollars, right?
Okay.
Now, anyone who wants to buy oil from Brazil needs to get their hands on this new currency.
Interesting.
That creates demand for it. And that demand could come at the expense of the dollar.
Okay, so it's not just about BRICS countries using this amongst themselves.
No, it could have ripple effects across the whole global system.
And what does that mean for everyday folks like, our listeners, people who are investing?
Well, that's where things get really unpredictable, right?
Okay.
I mean, currencies go up and down all the time.
Uh-huh.
But imagine throwing a whole new major currency into the mix.
Yeah, like a new player on the seesaw.
Exactly. And suddenly your investments in, say, emerging markets could look very different because a stronger BRICS bloc with its own currency could change the whole investment landscape in those regions.
Okay, so there's potential upside there.
Yeah, potentially.
Yeah.
But also more risk, more volatility.
And what about sanctions? Like we've got all these sanctions going on around the world.
Right, and that's another huge piece of this puzzle.
How so?
Well, think about it for countries like, I don't know, Russia or Iran,
Okay.
who are facing a lot of sanctions from the U.S. and its allies.
Right.
A BRICS currency could be a way to bypass those sanctions. They could start doing business in this new currency and sidestep the whole dollar-based system.
So it's almost like a geopolitical tool as well.
Oh, absolutely. It's a way for BRICS to exert more influence on the world stage.
So it's not just about, the economics of it.
No, it's very much tied up in global power dynamic.
Okay, so we've talked about, the potential impacts, the upside, the risks, but let's be realistic for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Creating a new global currency is not exactly easy.
Oh, it's a massive undertaking, and there are tons of hurdles.
Like what?
Well, first off, you need trust.
Right, people have to believe in this new currency.
Exactly. Think about the euro.
Okay.
It took years for people to really accept it as a legitimate currency.
To trust it.
And to trust it, right?
Yeah.
A BRICS currency would need to prove itself to be stable and reliable.
Okay, so trust is a big one. What else?
Well, then you've got the whole technical side of things.
Right, setting up the infrastructure for a new currency.
Exactly. You need payment systems, exchange mechanisms, all of that.
Yeah, and that's not going to happen overnight.
Definitely not. It's a long and complicated process.
So we've got trust, we've got the technical side. Anything else that we need to be thinking about?
Well, we talked about volatility before.
Right, the currency seesaw.
Exactly. So imagine countries start shifting their reserves away from the dollar
Okay.
and into this new BRICS currency.
Yeah.
That's going to create some serious waves in the Forex market.
Yeah. Exchange rates could go haywire.
Exactly. And that could affect everything from import prices to export earnings.
So it's a complex story with a lot of moving parts.
Definitely. And it's still early days.
Right, we don't know for sure if this is going to take off.
Exactly.
But it's something that everyone should be paying attention to.
Absolutely. Because if it does gain traction, it could reshape the entire global financial system.
Okay, so for our listeners out there, what should they be watching for?
Well, I'd say keep an eye on how widely this new currency gets adopted,
Okay.
not just by governments, but by businesses and individuals.
Right. Are people actually using it?
Exactly. And watch for changes in global reserve holdings.
Oh,
Are central banks starting to dump dollars and buy up this new currency?
interesting.
And pay attention to trade agreements. Are countries starting to use this new currency in their deals?
It's lots to watch, for lots to think about.
Definitely, this is a story that could unfold in a lot of different ways.
Well, I think you've given us a lot to chew on, for sure.
Glad to hear it.
So thanks for breaking this down for us.
Anytime.
And for everyone listening, keep an eye on this BRICS currency story. It's one that could have major implications for all of us.
No doubt.
All right, that's it for this deep dive. We'll see you next time.
See you then.
And until then, happy investing.
You too.